Ise Jingu is the holiest site of Japan's indigenous Shinto religion and has been a pilgrimage destination for nearly 2,000 years. It's also a popular tourist spot and, in my opinion, one of the most enjoyable places to visit in Japan, thanks to the vibrant, traditional hospitality district adjacent to the main shrine. In this video, I'll talk a little about the history of Ise Jingu and the reasons why it's so special to Japanese people. Especially though, I'm looking forward to showing you some of the things that I love about this place, including a tour of the traditional pilgrims hospitality district, Okage-yokocho. In the last video, we visited Geku, the outer shrine of Ise Jingu. In case you haven't seen that one yet, I'll post a link in the video description. When we left off, we had just wrapped up our Geku visit and were en route to the inner shrine. It's about 3.5 kilometers between the two, and most people would take a bus from here, but I've opted to walk instead. This way I'll work up an appetite for something to eat and drink when we get there. Plus, it will give us time to go over some background info on our destination while we walk. First, a brief look at the mythology and history behind the ancient tradition of pilgrimage to Ise Jingu. The sun goddess, Amaterasu, is the most important deity in the Shinto pantheon. The imperial family traced their lineage to her, and the sun on the Japanese flag is likely a reference to her as well. Anyway, it is said that the sun goddess selected Ise as her earthly abode over 2,000 years ago. Sometime after that, her shrine was constructed here and the tradition of pilgrimages began. During the Edo-era, this tradition was formalized and became a nationwide social phenomenon. At this time, Japanese society was very strictly controlled, and ordinary people were not allowed to travel outside of their own area without special permission from the feudal government. One of the ways this could be achieved was by making a pilgrimage to Ise. In order to ensure that large numbers of people didn't just all hit the road to Ise at once, risking mayhem and social collapse, a special system was introduced whereby each community was periodically allowed to send a small number of pilgrims, chosen by lottery and provided with a special travel subsidy. But the lure of visiting the place where God lived, in combination with the promise of freedom from the strict social control of their daily lives, was too much for many, and the phenomenon of okage-mairi, or unauthorized pilgrimage, was apparently quite common. During the 16, 17, and 1800s, there are records of mass pilgrimages of up to several million people at a time. Million. And the behavior of these travelers? Well, what do you imagine might happen when a bunch of people from a strictly controlled social environment were suddenly free to do as they pleased? Often, complete mayhem. And there certainly was a seedy and even dark side to all of this. But it also created a vibrant and unique culture of travel and hospitality that exists to the current day. Not just here in Ise, but nationwide. Well, let's talk about that later. We're getting close to the shrine area now. For those arriving by bus or taxi, this is where you'll be dropped off, just in front of the approach to Uji-bashi, the bridge over the sacred Isuzu River that leads us to the realm of Naiku, the inner shrine of Ise Jingu.
Nice to see you again! やっとついてきました。行ってきます。こんにちは。こんにちは。
Along with torii gates, bridges are one of the ways we signify passage into a special or holy place. I assume that part of this relates to the role of water in purification rituals. Which brings us to another point of etiquette in shrine visits. Huge tree. I wonder how many hundreds or thousands of years it's been here. And another one over there. The trees here are considered to be special. Behind that wall is the main shrine. You might be able to just catch a glimpse of the rooftops. You can't actually enter these walls or directly view the inner shrine, officially named Kotai Jingu. This area is only accessible to special people, like Shinto priests or priestesses, or members of the royal family during certain ceremonies. Apparently, it houses a sacred treasure, the ancient mirror used to coax Amaterasu out of the cave where she had exiled herself. And more importantly, the spirit of the goddess herself is said to reside here. This is a picture I found that I assume is an officially sanctioned image of the inner shrine, the part we can't access. You may have noticed that for an ancient shrine, it doesn't look all that ancient. This is because, along with many other important structures here, it is completely rebuilt every 20 years, according to an intricate and ancient ritual. This ensures that the physical structures of this place, along with its traditions, will be preserved and renewed for future generations. It also has the effect of making Ise Jingu feel like a place removed from time. Ancient, but still very much alive. Here it is, the approach to the sacred inner shrine of Ise Jingu, the spiritual heart of Japan, and final destination of the famous pilgrimage route that attracts millions of visitors a year, to pray or simply to enjoy the feeling of being here. It is said that most Japanese people want to visit Ise Jingu at least once in their lifetime. But why is this exactly? What is it about this place that consistently draws more than 10 million visitors a year? I should mention that people aren't under any kind of religious obligation to come here. Japan is a highly secular society after all. In my opinion, it really just comes down to this. A pilgrimage to Ise Jingu is a nearly 2,000-year-old tradition to a place associated with the spiritual identity of Japan. A nation that values its traditions deeply. But even beyond that, when asked, many people will say that they can feel something special when they're here. Maybe it's just an effect created by the physical environment of the place, but I'm inclined to agree. There are countless Shinto shrines scattered throughout Japan, and people will often visit a local one to mark social rites of passage or pray for health and happiness in the new year. But this is the place they'll come if they want to add an element of spiritual weight to an event or prayer. I mean, as a place where the divine and human worlds are said to overlap. If you really need your prayers to be heard, this does seem like a good place to try. I also feel that many visitors come here in search of some core aspect of Japanese culture and identity. It feels like this is a central point of gravity around which the rest of Japanese culture spins and changes. The center doesn't move or change, but is eternally reborn. This is the Japan that was, is, and will be. Okay, enough philosophy for one day. You could easily spend a couple of hours wandering around here. There are actually several shrines located here in the Naiku complex. Smaller, but still interesting and worth checking out if you have time. But I'll save that for another day. For now, we cross back over into the human world for food, drink, and entertainment. To Okage-yokocho. No trip to Ise would be complete without a visit to Okage-yokocho. This ancient street, as Google Maps describes it, forms the center of the Oharai-machi area and is a legacy of the original hospitality district that provided refreshments, lodging, and entertainment to pilgrims and other visitors to Ise Jingu. While today's Okage-yokocho might be a sanitized version of the one that accommodated travelers during the Edo-era, many of the original businesses are still in operation, and the district's name playfully hints at the wilder origins of today's decidedly more family-friendly pilgrimage tradition. Anyway, this is a pretty fantastic place to wander around and spend an afternoon. So, let me show you around a bit. This is Shinwa-no-kan, so like mythology museum, I guess. This is a pretty cool place to learn about the significance of Ise Jingu. I've been told that the whole tradition of omiyage, the custom of bringing back souvenirs when we visit somewhere, likely goes back to pilgrimages to Ise Jingu. Pilgrims had a responsibility to bring back something for the people in their communities. Today, this custom is rigorously observed in Japan, not just for shrine visits, but also when we travel for leisure or business as well. Whenever we take a trip, there's some expectation that we'll bring back a little piece of wherever we've been to share with family, friends, and coworkers as well. Anyway, Okage-yokocho is an excellent place to shop for omiyage. So this place sells kind of fish, paste, potatoes, sausages. It's kind of hard to explain what they are, but they're very tasty. I'm gonna get one or two. All right. In this hand, I have the octopus ginger stick, and this is scalloped mayo. That's delicious. Very interesting texture. We are sitting on a patio of Kariya Brew Pub, and that is the sacred Isuzu River in front of us. And this is my friend Ross, who I'm drinking with today.
Cheers.
Kanpai. Kanpai. It's tempting to get another beer or explore some of the other culinary options here, but we have an itinerary to follow. Next time, if you're interested, I can do a more food and drink focused tour of the district. There certainly are some great options. But food and drink isn't the only reason we come here. I'd like to wrap up today's video with a performance from the resident Taiko drumming group.